going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm going to be talking all about the major updates that are happening with Britney Spears and her conservatorship case. I asked you guys on my Instagram if you wanted a full Pop Off on all of these updates, and you overwhelmingly said yes, and I cannot lie to you guys, I'm so happy you did. There are so many things that we need to discuss, and first up, we're obviously going to talk about the fact that Jamie Spears, aka Britney's dad, came out of nowhere and filed paperwork this week saying that he is okay with Britney's conservatorship ending after 13 years. And although I know we all wanted to absolutely celebrate that news because hello, that's exactly what we've been waiting for, because it's Jamie Spears, you already know there's some ulterior motives. On one hand, we have this new report from TMZ that basically alludes to the fact that Jamie Spears doesn't actually want the conservatorship to end. And honestly, it kind of sounds like he has a master plan to make sure it doesn't. And then as far as another potential ulterior motive, Britney's attorney said in a statement that he thinks Jamie's recent filing is his way of trying to avoid, quote, accountability and justice when it comes to the investigation on how Jamie's been handling Britney's finances. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot, and honestly, both of those ulterior motives kind of sound on brand for Jamie Spears. Regardless though, we also have this new report where sources are sharing how Britney Spears is reacting to her dad's filing. Sources say that Britney is reportedly ecstatic despite their relationship still basically being non-existent. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there's a lot of information to get through here, a lot of updates to discuss, so prepare yourselves. And also I want to once again reiterate, I am not a Britney Spears expert. I don't claim to be a Britney Spears expert, and I know that there are definitely Britney fans out there who know more than me about this conservatorship. Here on my channel, my goal is to fill people in on the major updates happening with Britney in an easily digestible way. Sorry you guys, I know I've said this all before, but after my last Britney video, I just wanted to make sure that was clear. Alright, now that that's out of the way, like I said, we have a lot that we need to get into, so let's not waste any more time and get to unwrapping these Britney Spears facts. Okay, so as you all know by now, Britney Spears has been under this conservatorship for 13 years, since 2008. Her father, Jamie Spears, is in control of her estate and her finances, and a woman by the name of Jody Montgomery is in charge of her personal conservatorship. Recently, Britney Spears has been in an incredibly fierce fight to not only remove her father completely from the conservatorship, but also to end the conservatorship altogether. Now remember, the last we heard about Jamie Spears' removal from the conservatorship is when he filed paperwork saying that he would willingly step down, but of course, not before helping whoever the court appointed as a replacement, and oh, you know, trying to extort his daughter for $2 million. However, now that brings us to the newest updates that I was talking to you guys about at the beginning of this video. So earlier this week, in a shocking turn of events, Jamie Spears filed paperwork to end the conservatorship again after 13 years. Now, I feel like this is something we all probably thought we would never actually see Jamie do. According to TMZ and Jamie's court documents, he pointed out that if the court thought Britney was fit enough to hire her own attorney, then it's his opinion that there is no longer a legal basis for the conservatorship to be in place. Jamie also reportedly pointed out that Britney asked for the conservatorship to end without a medical evaluation, and that there's no law stating that she needs an evaluation prior to the conservatorship being terminated. So therefore, he was agreeing with the fact that he's okay if the conservatorship ends without her getting a medical evaluation. Again, something we never expected to see. In these court documents, Jamie reportedly said the conservatorship has been going on for a long 13 years, and things have changed, quote, to such an extent that grounds for establishment of a conservatorship may no longer exist. Jamie reportedly once again reiterated that he wants what's best for his daughter, and if she wants out of the conservatorship and believes she can run her own life, then she should get that chance. Hello, Jamie. Welcome to what we've all been saying the past 13 years. Ugh, sorry, this man just really freaking frustrates me, but continuing on. According to TMZ, Jamie also threw a little shade at his filing. First at Britney's attorney, pointing out that he has actually not yet filed a petition on his end to end the conservatorship, despite Britney Spears making it crystal clear in her testimony that she wanted him to. Jamie also reportedly pointed out that Britney, quote, has recently demonstrated a level of independence that calls into question whether a conservator of the person is required. This is where he also threw a little shade at Jody Montgomery's way and said that basically at this point, he doesn't feel like she's necessary. Before I move on, it's worth noting that despite Jamie Spears filing this paperwork now, a decision won't be made until their next court date, which is scheduled for September 29th. Now, remember how I told you I felt like Jamie Spears had some ulterior motives for filing that paperwork? Well, here's ulterior motive number one. In a new report from TMZ, sources close to the situation shed light on the real reason why Jamie moved to end the conservatorship, and that basically is he doesn't think it's actually gonna happen. Multiple sources told TMZ that just last month, Jamie was very worried for Britney's mental health. He reportedly felt like it was deteriorating, and that Jody Montgomery, aka the woman who is in charge of her personal conservatorship, was not doing a good job of protecting Britney. Jamie reportedly told people around him that Britney was, quote, never getting out of this conservatorship. And of course, TMZ went on to clarify that he didn't say this in a, quote, draconian way, that instead this was just Jamie's way of really showing his concern for Britney's mental health. I'm sorry, who's gonna believe that? Sorry, getting back on track. Now, this is really interesting information because, like I said, Jamie just went ahead and filed paperwork saying, sure, end the conservatorship, sure, end it without an evaluation, when apparently just a month ago, he was singing a totally different tune. Now, as far as why Jamie is all of a sudden singing a different tune, according to the source who spoke to TMZ, Jamie's reason for this is, quote, he's calling their bluff. Basically, this source is saying that Jamie and multiple other people don't actually believe that Britney has gotten better. In fact, they reportedly think she's gotten worse. However, by filing paperwork this week saying he's cool if the conservatorship ends, Jamie basically thinks he's pulled a fast one on Britney's attorney because, like I mentioned, he has yet to file paperwork saying they want the conservatorship to end. So now Jamie's pretty much backed Britney's attorney into a corner, and he has no other choice than to go along and agree with Jamie's filing, because if he doesn't, then he's gonna look like he has ulterior motives and that he's going against his client's wishes. In this TMZ report, a source said, quote, it's almost like saying, okay, you think the conservatorship should end? Then bring it on, let's see what happens. These TMZ sources went on to share that they believe Jamie does not want the conservatorship to end, and they also reportedly said that Jamie doesn't think the judge will end the conservatorship without having Britney be evaluated. And Jamie has reportedly said before that he thinks, quote, that evaluation would present an insurmountable case to maintain the conservatorship. So therefore, if the judge rules, okay, I'm not going to end this conservatorship without Britney getting an evaluation, then Jamie basically gets what he wants. He not only maintains the conservatorship, but he also tries to repair his reputation with the public by appearing to be a doting dad and doing what's best for his daughter. And you know what the real kicker is? Despite him never doing, in my opinion, what's best for his daughter, these TMZ sources said that Jamie believes he could still repair his relationship with Britney. What a freaking joke. All right, while you digest that information, let's move on to the next ulterior motive that I told you guys about at the beginning, where Britney's attorney claims that Jamie filed this paperwork in an attempt to get out of the investigation that he plans to launch against him. So as you all know, Matthew Rosengart, aka Britney's attorney, he has made it crystal clear from the beginning when he took on her case that he is going to launch an investigation into Jamie Spears and all of the things he's been doing with Britney's finances over the years. Which, let's be honest, we all know there has to be some illegal things happening there. And now Matthew Rosengart is basically calling Jamie Spears out, saying, hold on a second, you're trying to now terminate this conservatorship to weasel your way out of an investigation, and I'm not having it. According to BuzzFeed, Matthew Rosengart said, quote, it appears that Mr. Spears believes he can try to avoid accountability and justice, including sitting for a sworn deposition and answering other discovery under oath. But as we assess his filing, which was inappropriately sent to the media before it was served on counsel, our investigation will continue. Love me some Matthew Rosengart. I love that he never fails to call Jamie out on his ish. Now, although I really just want to go ahead and pop off about all of this, first let me fill you in on that new TMZ report that's letting us know how Britney is doing in the midst of all of this. Sources close to Britney told TMZ that she is, quote, ecstatic that her dad filed paperwork for the conservatorship to end, especially without a medical evaluation. Britney reportedly thinks that Jamie's recent 180 is a, quote, total victory, and she thanks public pressure and her recent attorney for this total victory. These sources also mentioned, which I absolutely loved, that despite Jamie's filing, Britney's view of her dad has not changed, and she's still extremely angry with him over his role in the conservatorship. Duh! And while yes, Matthew Rosengart, aka Britney's attorney, had yet to file paperwork to end the conservatorship completely, he was reportedly working on removing Jamie first, which was the first primary goal, and Britney now wants to make sure that the request to terminate the conservatorship is at the forefront of that next court hearing, again, that's scheduled for September 29th. Whew, I know that was a lot of information, that was a lot of things to digest. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Now it's time to pop off, and unfortunately, because this is not a celebratory pop off, because we still got to worry about Jamie Spears and those ulterior motives, we're not gonna pop any champs. We're just gonna go ahead and hydrate. You guys know whenever I talk about Britney Spears, I always say we're gonna cheers our water to Britney and also say a prayer that she finally gets out of this thing and Jamie gets the karma that he deserves. So hydrate, people, hydrate. Alright, so when I saw the headlines that Jamie Spears filed paperwork to end the conservatorship after 13 long years, I was super freaking excited, and then immediately right after, I got really nervous because my thought was, oh Lord, what is this man trying to do now? I knew he had to be filing that paperwork for more than just trying to save his reputation, because let's be honest, that is shot at this point. And as it turns out, after hearing all of these potential ulterior motives, I definitely had a reason to be nervous. On one hand, when it comes to that TMZ report on the real reason why Jamie filed paperwork to end the conservatorship, it sounds like he's trying to pull a fast one on people. And what I mean by that is out of nowhere, he's all of a sudden saying, yes, I agree, let's end the conservatorship. Yes, give my daughter what she wants and end the conservatorship without an evaluation. And yes, I'm gonna swoop in and I'm gonna file paperwork to end the conservatorship because my daughter's own attorney hasn't even filed paperwork to end the conservatorship. All while knowing that hell will probably have to freeze over before this judge actually agrees to end the conservatorship without Britney getting an evaluation. Again, I said this in my last Britney pop-off and I'm gonna say it again. I have always felt like the judge in this case and Jamie Spears were playing for the same team, even though they're absolutely not supposed to be. So I feel like Jamie definitely filed that paperwork saying, sure, end the conservatorship without an evaluation, knowing damn well the judge is going to say, no, she needs an evaluation. And then Jamie obviously knows there's a chance that Britney might not pass that evaluation. So then he's gonna get what he wants and somehow look like the good guy in all of this, even though we all see through that facade and we know he's not the good guy. Ugh, I don't know, you guys. There is just so much riding on this next court date because obviously, yes, there's a chance that the judge can say, you know what, the conservatorship's over, Britney doesn't need an evaluation, she's free. But then there's also a large chance that the judge can say, you know what, I'll consider ending this conservatorship, but first Britney's gonna need an evaluation. We obviously think that Britney is better and we obviously think that she is capable of being in control of her own life, but that's not to say that this evaluation still couldn't bring on some trouble. And on top of that, we also can't forget that anyone in Britney's family can also contest that the conservatorship shouldn't end. I don't think anyone would do that. I don't think Lynn Spears would do that because she is trying to make amends with her daughter and make sure that she is taken care of. And I don't think Jamie Lynn would do that because she's obviously been dragged by the public left, right, up, and down since this whole thing started. But I just wanted to put it out there that anyone from Britney's family can still contest this. Oh, and as far as that theory that Jamie filed this paperwork to avoid an investigation, I mean, hello, I absolutely believe it. I mean, if he was allegedly trying to extort Britney for $2 million to help pay his legal fees now, that tells me that he's clearly shaking in his boots thinking that he won't be able to pay his legal fees for a future battle. So I absolutely believe that he's trying to avoid an investigation altogether. And I just love that Matthew Rosengart said, not today. Now, as far as that TMZ report about Britney Spears being ecstatic over her dad's 180 and viewing it as a total victory, I'm so happy to hear that, but it also still just makes me a little nervous. Because if for some reason the judge doesn't rule in her favor and he says that she does need an evaluation, I feel like she's going to see that as a loss. And I feel like that's just definitely going to take the wind out of her sails. So before I wrap this up, I feel like we all just have to really, really cross our fingers, our toes, all of the things, send it up to the man upstairs, send it out to the universe, whatever you believe in. I think we just all need to hope that the judge has an absolute epiphany and says, you know what, this has been a 13 long years. Britney Spears deserves to be free. She deserves to go free without an evaluation. And then we're definitely going to pop the shams. But until then, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. All right, you guys, now that you're filled in on the latest updates with Britney Spears and you know my thoughts, I want to hear all of your thoughts and feels down below. While you're at it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you guys follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. You can also find all of my merch at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.